This is recording 802. The name of my recording is Listen Next 802. This is my podcast, speaking to the CIA.com, or you can also find me at ChristinaStation918.com. Okay, so as you guys know, last night, Gene Roberts and her Manson occult / KKK shot at Donald Trump again at a correspondence dinner. So when more comes out on it, I'll decode it and give you as much information that I have from decoding it. But at least this time, you know that Gene Jernigan Roberts did it. See, the last time I went to the police and turned her in, the day before she shot the president. This time with my podcast and all of my reports, now you know for a fact, as you know by looking at all crimes that she's been committing, that Gene Jernigan Roberts committed that crime. And she admitted to doing it in my brain. Currently, what her occult is doing is they're running around underneath my house underground. So remember I told you they built like a little tunneling system from like 2 streets up, and then it goes up underneath my street. So they're hiding out like underneath my house in this area. And then she came on based on my last podcast that I did in my brain. And this is what she did. She played calypso music. So it sounds like tinny. You know what calypso music sounds like. So she plays calypso music, and then she goes, "Shut up, you stupid pig," but then she says it in a Spanish gangster voice. And I'm like, what the effing hell? And so then I'm like dissecting it as everybody else, and they're like, that's goddamn Gene Roberts. She's using AI voice modulation. And then they're telling everybody that is a white bitch talking in a Spanish voice. That's Gene. She's all pissed off and freaking butthurt. And she desperately wants people to go along with her shit. And so she's trying to show out. Especially, they know she's trying to show out because the way she showed up yesterday with all her little Richies saying, we're the true Charles Manson. And then acting like dumbass idiots. And then they do this. They shoot at the correspondence dinner. And then afterwards, they want to like show out again. So anyway, the one thing that I saw immediately in the shooting is it shot past Wolf Blitzer. So Wolf Blitzer is a reporter who is on CNN, and he is from Buffalo, New York. And she used his name, and she used the center of his name to stand for Blackfoot. And then in my brain, sorry, she's wincing my eye, like she's getting away with this. So she said in my brain when I was outside a minute ago smoking a cigarette, she said in my brain, she's not talking to me, she's talking to all our people. And she's over where I keep her in the like cybersphere, up 2 streets up in there. So she goes, it was the Blackfoot that did it. And people were screaming from another direction, voices from another direction. They're like, oh my God. And then I'm like, oh my God, she's effing lying again. And then they're like, I'm calling every Native American chief there is. You're not going to do that, Navy captain. And then she goes, I'm Christina, or whatever she does, when she always pretends to be me. And then someone said, you might as well give it up yelling at the Navy captain, at Gene, because she'll just continue to be me, Christina. Or she'll continue to say she's me, Christina. You see how she's even controlling my sentences? Oh, and by the way, on my last recording, I said on my walks to school, she edited that out, replaced it with work. Anyway, so they go, I don't give a shit what Gene Roberts is doing. I'm calling every Native American chief there is. Gene Roberts is not going to be doing that. So anyway, okay, so then I said out loud, for whoever can hear me out loud on my back porch, I said to the White House, Secret Service, be prepared because they're making another report. Got to keep these Ku Klux Klan Charles Mansons popping. And then someone said it's like freaking whack-a-mole, but they're not moles, they're Ku Klux Klan. So all they want to do is stalk me, pretend to be me, sell me, make money, and commit terrorism, blame everybody else for the terrorism, then go kiss their butts and do it all over again. That's all they want to do. So in order to find out who all their people are and who all's covering for them, because, oh my God, like, so I'm going to keep making reports against Gene, and you're going to know that Gene is on, and she'll probably show out is what she'll probably do. So anyway, and you obviously know to look at her attacking me, Christina, in any way, shape, or form, because that's some kind of aphrodisiac to her. So it makes her elevate herself and her self-esteem by dousing society and everybody else. So no, not your nasty fucking people. You guys keep running around. Please stop talking through my voice. Can you see those people at the end talking through my voice? That's all Gene Roberts people. Okay, so they're probably doing that, and then they're going to do another clip of such a... So, okay, so let me move forward to this podcast. So, okay, so another thing you want to look up is improving again that Gene Roberts did the World Trade Center attack is she used the theme of German aircraft from the 60s. In the late 60s, the West German Luftwaffe rebuilt its forces, transitioning from post-war restrictions to modern NATO capabilities. The era was dominated by the Lockheed F-104 Starfighter, nicknamed Widowmaker, due to a poor safety record, alongside F-84F Thunderstreaks, while Bell UH-1D helicopters were introduced late in the decade. So you want to break all that down, and then I have a star birthmark on my knee, but you want to decode all the letters and all the numbers, but you can definitely tell she used German aircraft as a theme. And then also rebuilding aerospace companies like Messerschmitt and Hinkel merged into larger consortiums, later MBB collaborating with NATO allies by the late 1960s to build new jets. So in that is Hinkley, Boston, Mass, and then Irish Catholic. So again, that's also connecting to her taking Robert Kennedy Jr.'s life and John F. Kennedy Jr.'s life. Then also, I don't remember how I got to this. Remember when I decoded her Lonely Hearts Club thing, and I was in rehab? It's one of the, and then she was using old actors and actresses, and he even found where she was using Lola Montez, which was a woman that she was an actress that my great uncle fell in love with a long time ago. And it's like, I told you, it's like a cute little family story because he was an inventor. My Uncle Edwin, he was an inventor, and he was wealthy, and she took him for everything he had. And it's like a cute little funny family story. So anyway, I found Lola Montez's name in it. Well, of course, because it's Gene Roberts Cypher. She's talking the shit out of you. But then somebody was pointing out how my middle name is Marie, and they're noting the countdown. I'm born 1971. I told you 1976 is a bicentennial. 76 to 71 is the countdown. Okay, until the end, her global dominion plot and all that. Okay, so somebody was pointing out that also Marilyn Monroe, that both of that, she took Marilyn Monroe's life also. That starts with M, and then Montez starts with M, and then Maria starts with M. Now I have an aunt. Well, I have an Aunt Maria, but she's my children's Aunt Maria. But anyway, someone said that her name was probably a different name in history. So I went looking to see if she was going through, like how she does recycling children, generation after generation. Like, this is my new one. If she's doing that with actresses. So going back in time, I'm like, seeing if Lola Montez is out there, and her name wasn't Lola Montez. I think I found her. So anyway, what her first name is, I can't remember now. Oh, maybe it's Maria Montez. So she became so identified with these adventures. So this is about Maria Montez. This might be her, I don't know. She became so identified with these adventure epics that she became known as the Queen of Technicolor. Now, remember when The Wizard of Oz came out? That was the first color movie. She became known as the Queen of Technicolor. Over her career, Montez appeared in 26 films, 21 which were made in North America, with the last 5 being made in Europe. And then I was like, oh my God. And then you have Europe, The Final Countdown. Then after that, she made a threat. And I like this is about 3 or 4 weeks old. Maybe a little bit longer, but she made a threat at me. She goes, Christina, get ready for the bees. And then she goes, with that, Christina, we're done. And then she put an image in my brain, like an AI CGI in my brain, of herself literally walking through my front door as she's breaking and entering. And then she goes, they gave me a key. She said, but they gave me a key. Nobody gave you a key to break into people's houses, cars, or businesses. So, and then let me see. Then she used an English actress's voice, using AI voice modulation. And she goes, you are being shadowed. She put this in my brain. You are being shadowed. You. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so effing stupid. Effing arrest Gene Roberts. So that's the end of this podcast. And then, that's the end of this podcast.